by a lot. Okay. Then we'll go look at the line sight right after they all start. We'll get a line sight. But right now, the line sight, if you're lining the pin up with the hotel, you're in deep trouble. See the hotel? Look how far below the line you are. And the current's going right to left here. Here's the starting line. And then I'm gonna get a line sight here as I just go up through the line. But you can still see hotel, that's way behind the line. We're gonna get a line sight after everybody starts, but this, sometimes kids feel like they're on the line even here. And yet they're not. Beautiful day. The line sight, guys, is this guy right here in the gray jacket. So you see how he's anchored? And he is sighting with the hat on, with the tan hat on. He is sighting right down the line. I'm gonna try to drop down here a little. Oh, they have 1 minute to go. I'm sorry, I thought we had less than a minute. But one thing we should note is if you look at this flag, this orange flag, and then you go straight upwind of that, you'll notice there's an orange buoy over here. That is not the windward mark, but that's where the windward mark should be much closer to that than the white one. But the kids should know from the sailing instructions that the windward mark is white, but here we go. I think there's a little confusion going on up there. Okay, so again, this guy is the line sight. I would say the B fleet's doing quite well. C1, this is the C1s. A's and B's were the fleet that just started. Look how far behind the line there. Look for the flags, you guys. You can still see the flags in there, see that? And look where, this is what we were talking about this morning. Look where Holland is. He's still not close enough to the line. Yeah, so you see how far back they are? Yeah, see that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 seconds off. That doesn't seem like much, but if somebody was on the line somewhere, you know, they're punched out into clear air. So good start. Could have been a little closer. Remember that, guys. The big guy standing there at the outside of the end of the line is our line sight. We don't have anybody in this fleet. This is C2, C3, learn to race fleet for C3s. Really small. And the line sight is going to be right about, oh yeah, it's the guy in the jacket. So what you do is you set up the guy sitting in the bow. See how far below the line that puts you? So, you know, I'm going sideways right now. Oh, they haven't started yet. Again, you're gonna see, now that I'm lined up with the hotel, I am a long way below the line. So after they start, I'm gonna go show you that. Our whole goal for this regatta is when we get to Sabot Nationals or other big starting line regattas, you have to learn how to judge the line, because you'll start in the middle and think you're on the line, or you'll start away from the pin a ways and you'll think you're on the line and you're 5, 6 seconds
15
off. So you're immediately 6 seconds behind all the boats that are on
10,
the line at the end.
9, 8,
and then they have
7,
more clear air. They get to puff first, so that you can turn that into 12 seconds right away.
2, 1, start.
Am I in the twilight zone over here? Any boat in? If I line up at the hotel...
Sorry, it's a little broken. Could you clarify?
Just let them go.
I'm over to the boat if you want to talk about it.
Here we go. So the actual line sight is probably right about... Oh, it's gonna be the guy sitting in the bow of that boat. Okay, so between races, what you do is you get lined up with the middle of this coach boat, and you drop yourself down all the way to line up the pin with the hotel. So this is what you're practicing a little right here. And then you look, you see you're lined up with the hotel, and you look back at the committee boat end, and you might think, oh, I'm really close to the line, but actually the line is, so then you sail close haul, come up here, you start to get into the middle of the coach boat, and you're just below the line there, and you're on the line right right there.
160 yards when it's bringing into about
Okay, and again, we're going to use the guy that's going to be standing up outside of there. The SeaWorld tower is almost...
This is the Barker. I hold the starting pin
Yeah,
flag
so here we go.
at about 100
We just don't want to
yards.
start
We want to bring it into 100 yards.
like... We don't want to
Roger.
start like this. See how I'm lined up with
Pick
the
it up,
bridge over
move it
there? If you start in the middle of the line with the pin lined up with the bridge, it means you are way back there where that coach boat is. So I hope that all makes sense. Everyone finishing race 1, and then you come back down here. Fenton had a really good race. So he would come back down here and he'd immediately check his line sight. So why would he check his line sight? Think about it for a minute. Okay, I'm going to teach you 2 things here, but you need to check the line sight because you have to see if they've changed the starting line. That is one of your research methods, so it's obvious they've changed the starting line. There's the hotel we were looking at before, and this thing's down here. Now look at the stern of the boat. This boat hangs perpendicular to the wind pretty much. The current is going out, so this isn't a great one, but if you look at the stern of the Barca, the pin, if there was no current and the Barca was hanging like this, the pin is too far back, right? Does that make sense? The stern of the boat, the square stern, is perpendicular to the wind. It looks like it's lined up with the flag to me. So the committee boat should be, the pin should be above where 29439 is. Okay? I'm looking straight, a straight line, straight out. Okay? Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at the line sight. The new safe line sight is going to be hard. It's going to be a tree. There's some stuff on the beach there. So that stuff on the beach are like little boat racks or something, and that would put us right behind the line. Okay, I'm going to check that in a little bit. After you finish, you sit near the committee boat because of this. What is he doing? He's moving himself downwind. We're learning about which end is upwind of the starting line and which end is the downwind end, and he just moved himself downwind, which is what he needed to do, right? I was just saying that the pin needed to go higher, so let's go do our test again. And the line sight's going to be the tower again up there, I bet. There's a little thin tower over there, like a real high, like, I thought that was the SeaWorld tower, but that doesn't look big enough to be the SeaWorld tower. I'm confused. I've only lived here my whole life, and I don't see the SeaWorld tower. They tear it down or something. Understand that? It's a long time race condition, man. That guy gets the service award if anybody does. Okay, hotel puts me behind the line. Not as bad though. I'm actually only 2 boat lengths off the line here. So they moved the committee boat in back, and the starting line, I would start right about there. And then anybody who starts Star World Champion just ran into me over here. I can't start here, right? See where the Star World Champion over here just bumps me. Up is push the tiller, down is a tiller towards you. Okay, if you start down here on the bridge, then you're in big trouble. See how the pins lined up with the bridge, and you are miles. Race 2 start. Again, we're focusing on race 2. Again, we're focusing on how far off the line are we at the start, and using a line sight. It's really important. I know I just keep repeating myself. Really important that after general recalls in big fleets that you have line sights. But it's also important to have line sights because you gotta know if they're moving the line around. And again, the thing we've learned is the line sight is this guy right here. So they like the boat end. Holy criminy. See these guys way back here, how far off the line these boats are down here? 9394. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds off the line. Fenton 10347 is 8 seconds off the line, 8 seconds ahead, and potentially in more clear wind. So he should expand on that. Now sometimes there's people that are good at line sights looking the other way, and I am not. I like line sights only from the committee boat end down the other way. Okay, so the postponement flag just went down. That means in 1 minute you will get your 3 minutes for the C1. Okay, so the line sights, you know, people will use line sights that way. I don't. Okay, and then I will observe these boats. I think Kylie in 9429 was going kind of downwind this way. There's Sydney, 76 something, with the pink at the top of her sail. She's kind of, her telltales are flying, so I don't know which end's favored right now. I think that I would be up there 1/3 of the way from that end. And at about 1 minute, I'd be looking at these boats and trying to figure out, is it going to get a little windier, which I think it is. I think C1s are all going to be on the rail off the line. If you're not on the rail off the line, then you're pinching or you're slow, or you're letting your main sheet out. So I think it's going to, so again, in a minute and a half, I'm trying to figure out, it looks like it's going to be a little windier. It's about 8 knots. And windiest part of the day, and Fenton is not lifted on port. Blue boat, not lifted on port. So I'm not banging the left corner over here. What the heck are they doing? These kids aren't paying attention. They don't really know, they got to know the postponement flag. But anyway, when they heard two sound signals, when you guys heard 2 sound signals, you should have known they weren't using 2 sound signals all day for anything. So you should have known that was something other than a sound signal. These kids get the 3-minute whistle signal done for them so much that they can't kind of think for themselves. So that's all right. That's what we're here for. Less than 30 seconds for the C1s, and the cue for you guys would have been the 2 sound signals. You would have known that something was happening, and then seeing the red and white postponement flag too. Zach right on the line using a line sight. Kate Lindley, 8272, just like killed it. Kate Lindley with the 30-year-old Sabot sail that looks killer and just crushing it. There's Zach almost on the rail, 8696. So the boat end was favored a little. Here's Olive going to get lifts off the back of all these starboard tackers. I wouldn't doubt Olive comes out of this okay. Yeah. Outstanding. So the committee boat end was favored. Kate Lindley should be going full bore fast, sitting on the rail, just rolling the entire fleet to leeward of her. This is off topic, but we might as well talk tactics. Here comes Fenton, and he looks at these boats on port tack, and he looks at the ones on starboard, and I want you to tell me which end's further upwind. Starboard is going straight up through these gates, and port tack is more parallel to the gate. So which one's further upwind? The one right in front of me. If this was a starting line, we would be starting here at this end, if this was a starting line. So he's got it. I mean, this is an easy decision. This is an extreme example, but it's exactly what you do. You see how these guys were parallel to the gate angle? So that means if this was a starting line, they would get killed if they were at that end. And he's small enough where when he gets on the rail, he could actually scoop 2 inches forward and reduce his stern wake a little bit. Just reduce drag, but how can I complain? He won the first race by 1.5 minutes, and now he's winning this race by 30. I think Olive's going to come out okay. Cool. I think Vesper's winning by a long way. I think Olive might be second. It's going to be tight. Here she is, like winning the race, and she's not really on the rail, so that means she's steering good. But this is on the rail conditions. If you're not on the rail in this much wind, you're probably going one little tiny bit too high. But look at this. Oh wait, look at that guy's angle. Okay, so there's a big righty coming in. The flag's not showing righty. This is interesting. I think she should be on the rail. See how Kate's sitting forward and she leans her shoulders back. Just a natural at this. Looks like her dad a little in a snipe. Leans back in the chop. I think this guy has her over here, but this is race 2 and Kate just killing it. I think the right side is kind of better. This is really good technique right here. And Olive is right behind this guy. This is a tight race. She's doing a good job of not pinching. She's good, just sailing perfectly on the wind. I like what Olive's doing here, is not tacking too early after she crosses behind people. Wait for a little header and just turn right as it luffs. Yeah. Perfect tack. Perfect. I think he's got her. I think she's got Kate. Now, if this was a starting line, you started the boat end, so you're going to try to finish right at the flag. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the boat end would be favored in a start. She should just go right here and she beats Kate to the... Wow, what a race. Here comes Vesper and Zach. So you're gonna see Holland and Kylie coming here. Here's Alex. Great race. I got some great video of the A and B fleet start for race 3, and I looked down and realized I never pushed the button. Anyway, here we go. Here's the starting line, and this is the C1s. You would take a look at 8341 and 9429 if you were these boats down here, because they can judge the line very easily. 8341 is on the line. There's Holland is right next to her, 10284. Again, the line sight is the guy in the gray jacket. And I'm going to say C1's doing quite well. Here's Vesper. It's a little scary. Port tack. That was not good.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start.
Alex, 7732, 102, 10298 nailed it. But Alex, 87732 just killed it. Okay. Kylie Peterson, 9429, killed it. She's got to just get on the rail and sail. I think she's working the boat too hard.
Coach Cole, this is Audrey down by the Sabot starting line.
Yo.
There she goes.
Emmanuel's down here. I think he's having trouble with his mask can. He's looking for you.
Alright, I'll be over there in a sec.
Perfect.
Let me know if you need anything, Cole.
C1's coming to the finish of race 3. This is Kylie and Zach, brother and sister here. Zach has not won a race in quite a long time in a regatta, so I think he's probably pretty stoked. Here's Holland coming in here right with Kylie. Kylie's probably ahead of him. So we got Holland in 4th, Kylie in 3rd. Here's Olive hiking. Zach tacking. I think he's going to lay the finish line there. Not quite. This is a little bit of a header coming through. It looks like he is laying the finish. But he's in perfect position here. If he gets lifted, he lays the finish line. If he gets headed, he's miles ahead of everybody. Really good tack by Holland. Holland maybe just moved into 3rd. Yeah, Zach's gonna make it here. Looks like Holland probably should tack. He has no other chance. He should probably tack right there and hope he gets a lift and lays the pin in. Or he looks like he's ahead. Good job, Zach. thinking there is you got to finish at an end. She already has the committee boat end protected. I think on this starting line, if this was a starting line, you'd start at the boat end over there, right? So I'll let you lay this in. He should have tried to lay this in. No problem. Oh, Vesper coming in late left. She should tack right there and make the finish. Because this guy's going to get her over here. It's okay. I didn't make it to the pin end for race 4. But the point of our day is figuring out how to start without being way late in the middle. 9099, you can't see, but on the other side of 8380, that person should be looking at the boats like Fenton, 10347. And as the boats to windward move forward, you have to continue to move forward. The line is square this race. This race is 13 knots. This is going to be about who's fast. That was a good idea by Ben to be cautious, just because he's won 3 races in a row, 3-4-7. And so maybe if he'd had blindside, he would have known he didn't need to drop down like that. So it's about 13 knots, 11 to 12 right now. Snipes are kind of planing a little. In these conditions, it's all about maintaining speed upwind, not tacking too much. The boat absolutely stops on tacks unless you're good at them. And you have to hike, you have to hike hard, but you don't hike the same as you do on other boats. You hike and you feather a little. Feathering is squeezing the boat into the wind just enough to release the pressure off the leeward just a little bit. These are feathering boats. Once you're hiking like 85%, you let the boat ride on the high mode. If you go into foot mode in this, you just overload the leeward and it stalls. There we go. I told Finley 7610 I wanted her sitting on the rail and hiking. And her main sheet's already tighter than it was before. She's just gotten better all day long. So tiny whitecaps in there. It's probably 12 knots and 3/4 of the way up the course there. The theme of our day has been not starting late in the middle. What I notice in these Sabot fleets, and I've videoed it a lot, is, for instance, 7634 thinks they're close to the line. Or 7635 or something in the middle thinks they're close to the line at the starts. And they end up starting 6 to 12 seconds late, especially when they're nervous at nationals with a big regatta going on. See how this, Alex is too far back, 77C2, 8272, too far back. All right, Rick Arneson hammering it here. Did the Worlds against him in Italy just 4 years ago. 5, 6. Wow, 7528 just nailed the start. Alex is coming out okay, 7732 I think. Oh, they did 2 sound signals, but they put up an excellent. Sydney. This is Sydney's first C1 regatta, the pink topsail, first C1 regatta. And so what I told her before this race is I wanted her to sit forward a little, hike harder, and not let her main sheet out as much. And it looks like she's doing it right away. If you let the main sheet out too much, then all of a sudden you're reaching.